Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we are going to do more Catboy Thule and the legendary, land of the tax haven or whatever. Well, I should be more precise about things. Ancap, Cattrap's magical capitalist adventures on the lost island of Thule. I will eventually be able to do that all in one go. Yes. Today we are going to do what I like to refer to as the rise and grind, otherwise known as we need to get as much done as physically possible, and that mostly is combat. Most likely what will occur after this stream is I will hop into my Discord, I will open up Novel AI, and I will see what I can generate using the power of AI. Using the magic of technology. Let's see if we can't make something vaguely pornographic. You know how it goes. So, well, what are we doing today? Right here, right now. iPhone, you want to tell me that you're sad again? Let's see. What's up? What do you want to... Okay. So don't gotta worry about it. Cool. So... yeah, no, basic idea is we need to do the personal phase, and then we need to do the crisis phase. What we really need to do at this hour, at the end of the day, what needs to be done still is personal phase, pretty simple to do, crisis phase, which is going to be the main meat of the combat, then we need to do advancement, but then we need to, under this, we need to then do the R&D system, which is going to be tied to the crisis phase. Because again, these are going to work together, unfortunately, more than anything. And then we need to go all the way back up and add a lot more of these skills, which are going to be independent on how combat's actually going to be working. It's just a lot of things have to all come together, click together. But after this, what we need to do is we actually need to do a GM section. GM section is going to be pretty simple to do. It's just going to be a lot of like, okay, gotta double check everything there. But yeah, this is what needs to be done. It doesn't seem like a lot to be done, but it's a lot. And it's just going to be a lot of me sitting here and writing. So, gamers, real genuine human beings, let's, the fuck are you? No, you should all be Roboto. All be Roboto. You two need to be Roboto 10. Yeah. So, that's really it. That's what we're doing today. Yep. So, let's get down to it. The personal phase, in which more accurately it's what would be a snarky way to really kind of word this? Because I kind of give everything a little bit. Let's actually go if we go all the way up to a new Thule, the building phase, we need to do... Actually, I know. Cat colony. Cat colonies. Cat colonies of the personal phase. Yes, cat colonies are actually very sophisticated things. If you ever get curious, just look at what cat colonies are, and they're actually very interesting, very fascinating. Not just saying that because I'm running a Catboy game, I'm saying that out of like genuine, like it's pretty interesting. So generally speaking, how do I want to word this? Personal phase has the Catboy, has the barons and their various Catboy and various Catboy employees. And their barons and their various Catboys employees. In Bosnia, take me to America. I really want to see statue. I no longer wait. Take me to the United States. To Golden Great. I will assimilate. No, I don't trust Bosnians. Mostly because you didn't say it right. The personal phases, barons and their various Catboy employees. Mingle and partake in one another in, let's see, Personal phase has the barons and the various Catboy employees mingle and partake in one another's company. This it also is the time when the barons will learn about the encroaching. There's also the time when the barons will learn about the encroaching. Let's see. We'll also learn when the. Also, my time when the barons will learn about the encroaching crisis and how to potentially mitigate or prepare for it. Your neighbors and friends, Catboys and barons and Catboys. Barons and Catboys. Actually, I should say Thulean politics. Politics. Thule is an island dominated by one core word: freedom. Most of the island is still relatively untamed. Most of the island is still relatively untamed. As the barons along the coast bicker among themselves, bigger among us. Relatively untamed as barons along the coast bicker among themselves, and the newly crowned ones assert their dominion over territory. While there is a constant influx of new Catboys entering the island. Most are still focused around the pop-up megapolis. Pop-up would be a good term for it. Would be go from bigger than a city. What would you call something bigger? Mega city. Settlement hierarchy. Global village. Regiopolis prefectures. Regiopolis. Gigaopolis. Megaopolis. Concubation. Metro. Gigaopolis. You know what? We'll use this term because it sounds funny. Pop-up regiopolises. Most are still focused around the pop-up regiopolises along the coast, but many to move inward for promise of work and relatively cheap catnip. This freedom extends to many aspects of life, namely that the governing bodies of Thule have very little influence over the day-to-day operations of Baron, each operating their own microstate and economy inside their economic fief. economic fief is always a term I'd always want to use. Their economic fiefdom. This also extends to their influence on people and their neighbors. While most keep to themselves, some rule with iron fist, other with detached apathy. Regardless of how or where, conflicts between the barons are somewhat common, as each also has their own legal court system. Let's say each has their own legal system due to the Thulean courts being primarily based around economic law and formalizing contracts. The basis of most agreements is one of the assigned contracts. The basis of most agreements is one of the most of the assigned contracts, which is all those who sign and enforce by the signees, often with a cosigner, to ensure cooperation. So the basic idea would be party A wants to deal with party B. They would need to involve party C. To back them up. Someone would need to get party C involved. So if party A breaks contract, that means their party C is going to hop on party B's alley. Party B breaks contract, he's going to hop on and support party A. That's all that really matter. Signees up with cosigner to ensure cooperation. The newly sprouted let's see, may not have necessary relationships to formalize these agreements in court. Informal court, but informal court is still common. Is still common enough to hold ground. Your Thulean neighbors. Your Thulean neighbors are actually the Thulean Catboys. Bound by their nature. Thulean Catboys are bound by their nature. So I know I should. Thulean Catboys themselves. What would be a good term for like flip flop? Swing from two moods of lazy hedonism and hyped hyper focus. Both of these states can be influenced by catnip. Let's see, by catnip, which which the residents of Thule take in excess. Ensure the freedom. In short, do not tread on the tails of fellow Catboys and they will not yours. They will not tread on yours. There are no female Catboys. There are no female Catboys. And being gay. There are no female Catboys. But there are, there are many relationships among them, namely through inextensive Cattrap. Cattrap, a system of Cattrap system. But gay. There are no female Catboys, but there are relationships among them, namely through the extensive Cattrap system and legal marriages between them. Go nuts. Just gonna throw that little bit in there, being like, "Yep, be gay. Who fucking cares? You are literally playing the Catboy game, and we just like." Here's like this relatively extensive section on contract law, but here's also like, yeah, here's also this thing on like, yeah, no, there's like like, hey, you wanna be gay and do crime? Yeah, sure, fuck it, who cares? Let's then do we want to do the United Nations. The Blue Menace. Technically speaking, Thule is not a recognized country, and claimed by partially due to ultranational barons. Let's see. Claim by this field is not recognized. The United Nations, guided by a secret cabal in its upper echelons. Has made it a mission. Subjugate the island under the global agenda. Wow. While the barons have while the failure of Operation what would be a good name for Operation Coyote Thunder. While Operation Coyote Thunder was a resounding failure, resulting in the Baron Concordant. What did I end up calling it? It's Concordance, right? Concordance. Residing in the independent barons concordance being signed by all the initial and future barons of the island, the UN still has a minor presence. Let's see, barons of the island, the UN still has a minor presence on the island itself. Infrequently, the UN will sponsor invasions of barren territory. Often those young and poorly established. Without the necessary allies to back them up. Without proper assistance. Back them up. These blue helmet wars are common enough to be occur when a barony begins mass exporting or importing of various debatably legal entity debatably legal situations debatably legal contraband. They bring the hammer and seek to overthrow the baron with a friendly plant, or simply raise the barony to the ground without risking major retaliation. Agents of the UN are common enough to spot. Often they do not have. As many of them are not Catboys. Or no, let's see. As many of them are not Catboys. Rather regular human beings. While some may be able to tolerate Thule's natural, what would be a good, I wouldn't say it's miasma, that wouldn't be the right word for it. What do you mean posting something weird? Ugh. Oh lord almighty. Nope, do not care. We are stream o'clock. Not a care in the world. Do not care. We're talking about Catboy. Agents of the UN are common enough to as many of them are not Catboys. Not tolerate Thule's natural, I wouldn't say miasma. What would be a good, like, miasma? Vapor. Like, would be... similar words to miasma. Cloud smoke, synonymous. Pollution, gas in the air, effluvium. Effluvium. What's the opposite of effluvium? There's probably no word like convict. Yeah, like fucking like these aren't really antonyms at like fragrance. What the fuck is redolent? Huh? You know, we'll go with aroma. Well, some may be able to choose natural aroma. Others develop cat scratch fever. Cat scratch fever fairly quick. Others develop cat scratch fever quickly. Not to mention the UN are some of the only people to actually recruit women to visit Thule. Even though it's actually recruit women to visit Thule, a mistake. There we go, a mistake. Catboy stinky. Not quite. Yeah, no, it's the only people that actually recruit women to visit Thule, a mistake. Agents of the UN are agents of the UN are dangerous at best and harbingers at worst. Agents of while those of Demiurge while those of Demiurge, the UN's main task force for Thulean matters are especially chaotic and cannot be trusted in the slightest. They are among us. Not be trusted in the slightest. Many are Catboys who have been forcefully converted into literal agents of the Demiurge. Agents of Demiurge. Da-da, da-da, da-da. Yeah, MK Ultra. Fuck it, why not? The UN is using MK Ultra Catboys to undermine Thule. Yeah. Hey, he gave me full right to do this, so you're goddamn right. We're gonna do this. We're doing it. Thule's not a country, echelons, globalist agenda, subjugate presence, to barely legal, convert into literal agents of the Demiurge. All praise ye. Alex don't know. I don't believe those numbers are correct. Kanye West losing his fucking mind has been, again, this was part of, I wasn't expecting this, the Kanye anime. I wasn't expecting this arc. But I was expecting the redemption arc of the Kanye anime. I wasn't expecting the praise Hitler. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, shine on, crazy diamond. That's all I can really say. We want to do the Central Intelligence Agency. Them. The United States of America. The United States of America has a vested interest in Thule for a large plethora of reasons. Namely, a large plethora of reasons. tasked with undermining Thulean authority, Thulean Baron authority. Multiple CIA agents and operatives have been deployed to Thule in an effort to discontent and bring others into the U.S. fold. The CIA, on the other hand, the CIA has other plans for Thule, as made evident by Operation. What would be a good one? What would be something suitably dramatic? As made evident by Operation Dog Whisper, leading to the. As made evident by Operation Dog Whisper. Which was instrumental in starting Operation Coyote Thunder. Coyote Thunder. Dog Whisper. Planted multiple CIA operatives among the citizens of Thule with the intent of converting them into CIA assets. Baron, what would be a good? Who do I have? What do I have here? Do I have any? Who the fuck are you? Not anymore. Baron Luca Herman was assassinated. Let's see, Baron Luca Herman was assassinated, then replaced with CIA. With Dog Whisperer. Actually, with a Dog Whisperer. Let's see. Well, the United Barons managed to drive them back into the sea. It was costly, deadly, and sowed the seeds of paranoia, which continued. And that's what. See, the leaked CIA documents indicate that the intelligence agency seeks to make Thule one massive MK Ultra operation due to the aroma's effects on others and enslaving Catboys to their nefarious ends. It is vital to stop the glowies. Stop those who glow. Yep. I'm either doing an OJ or becoming this. Nah. The thing with Kanye is, I think he's not been well for a very long time, and I think people have been. I like you said, I think he married into the wrong family who probably didn't give a rat's ass about his own problems. He went a little bit bonkers, and now we have this. No, he was having a slow motion breakdown. Now all the brakes have been taken off. We're going rapid fire breakdown now. Yeah, no, this is the kind of shit where he'll either disappear for like 3-4 years and then he'll pop back up on like something completely fucking random, or he will end up dead. Now, I'm not going to say he's going to end up dead by mysterious means or something like that, or he's going to happen to find himself committing suicide under strange circumstances. I'm just saying, I would not be surprised if poor Kanye ends up with committing suicide with 2 bullets in the back of his head, kind of thing. You get, you get what I mean. He got banned off Twitter again. He's not even on Twitter anymore. Catnip overdose? No, I'm not gonna put catnip overdose in. Catnip is Gucci. Good for Catboys. Yeah, mind you, that's like a plot, mind you, right there, right? You know, right there in McDrew's. It's like, this is a CIA, like, hey, here's the plot. Like, CIA have an experimental drug that's making this force go insane. You have to put them down. Like, boom, boom, done. $1 million. How do I want it? Personal phase. During the personal phase, the barons are allowed to explore their barony unheeded, unmolested. That's a terrible word to use. Even experience and even contact others nearby for deals moves in other various situations. If the building phase is, let's see, if the building phase is for building up for barony. Crisis phase for protecting the barony. The personal phase is managing barony. Is managing barony. Everyone has an opinion with another person. Oftentimes these take the form of various factions. The barons will need to juggle inside of their own barony. Let's see. Various factions. The barons will need to juggle inside their own barony, as well as those of other nearby barons who may be eyeing their territory. putting this more into. We're gonna make this a little bit less structured, but we're going 3. Oh. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a side note for this. We'll do the mechanics of relationships. Depending on the nature of the campaign, depending on the nature of the campaign, the barons may need to deal with different individuals, different problems. Those met. Every relationship can be ranked out of -10 to +10. 2 + 10 representing the intensity of the relationship and their intensity and their the intensity of the relationship and their how do I want to word this? Because pretty much what I want the idea to be is that your relationship is not necessarily like we're friends, whatever. It's my investment in you and your investment in me. Like we're in this together, kind of thing. You know, representing the intensity of relationship, their bond. A zero rank relationship. Let's see, 0 rank relationship is pure business. While -10 is complete, outright malicious hostility without the possibility of not the possibility of peace, and 10 being a unified tens being something even beyond the strict bonds of brotherhood or love. The idea is having a really high relationship with someone is like we're invested in one another. Like we're 110%. I will do anything for you. You will do anything for me. We're in this fucking together. Like, it's a big fucking deal. -10 is like, if your people show up in my territory, I will kill them. I will kidnap them, and I will tear off their limbs and send you the video. Like, I hate you, and I hate everything that I hate the air you breathe, and if I do find you, I will not kill you. I will make sure that you live as long as physically possible in as much pain as possible. That is -10 tier. Individual baronies problems, factions of farmers, business owners, and the military may spring up, while grander scope campaigns may have different barons and extra. How do I want to do this? International ties. When making a, do I call them chat? when making a check, add the bonus, add the relationship bonus. Add the relationship bonus if the, let's see, when making a check, add the relationship bonus if the person is being influenced. However, if being influenced or being drawn upon, being close friends with someone's boss may get them to fold. Oh yeah. That's kind of like I'm not really assigning, like, I'm not like putting the strict mechanics in here because that's, again, it's kind of like this really kind of depends on how you want to play the game. This is a completely optional system. Like, this is, if you want to add this in, you can, but if you don't. Because some people may not want to even deal with this and make it just purely role playing. Other people do not want to do that. It really kind of depends on the nature of the person and the nature of the game you're playing, which I always feel to be very important. This was really strange to hear and tuning it. Yeah, welcome to Ancap Cattrap's Magical Capitalist Adventures on the Lost Island of Thule. Things only go worse from here. In this universe, did Kanye turn into a Catboy? Fuck it, why not? Kanye is a Catboy now. Canon. Want to min-max for relationship mechanics? You want to min-max those relationship points? Time to invest everything into, I believe it would be, actually, I don't even think you can really make, like, I don't think you can really make, like, a hardcore social character unless you go down a very particular route. You would have to play a very social character, if that makes sense. Ah. Right there. Ugh. There we go. Yeah. Now we get to the, let's see. Almost an hour in, and we're going to officially start on the combat section of the game. Yeah, alright, let's do this. This is where the notepad must die comes in. Blood and Thunder, the Crisis. The Crisis. A disastrous struck. Let's see, a disaster struck the barony. Disaster struck the barony. Forcing the, let's see, disaster struck the barony, forcing the, let's see, disaster struck the barony, forcing the barons to rally the forces and march to war, ready themselves for the oncoming onslaught, or onslaught themselves. A crisis is any event. Let's see. A crisis is any event that has the barony under threat. And has the has the barons under threat. By exterior or interior forces. Having them. This is that has the barons under threat by exterior or interior forces, having them rally together to confront it. The most common, let's see, the most common type of these crises. You know, any game that uses those weird D60s, I do not know if any game uses the D60s. I know what you're talking about. I actually have a D60. Here, let me get out my D60. I bought it as a complete novelty because, like, of course, this thing's a fucking sphere, mind you. Like, just to give you, like, yeah, this is a sphere, and it is hilarious. And if you do get a good roll, like if you do get a good spin on it, it's gonna keep spinning. It's great. Let's roll the D60. Got a 47. Yeah, no, this thing's a sphere. It's hilarious. Nobody used it like this die. I do also have a ooh, nat 47. Yeah, I also have a D30. Again, I bought a bunch of like weird novelty dice because I'm like, I of course want to buy the weird novelty dice because that's who I am. So yeah, I distinctly remember the person who was like selling me this, being like, you can use it for boulder damage. I'm like, what? I'm not gonna use this for fucking boulder damage. Like, like what the fuck? Let's see. The most common type of these crises are a battle is a battle. Crises is a battle. Would a D30 fix D&D? No. Few things can fix D&D at this point. The most common type of these crises is a battle taking place. Now, how do we want to organize this section? Let's organize this. We want to do battlefield. Well, actually, no. We'll explain battlefield. We'll explain the battlefield. Actually, no. They explain the battlefield. Then we explain initiative. Initiative. Actually, we'll do initiative. So it's trying to think the best way to do this. Initiative, we will do explain battlefield, initiative, actions. Forces, battlefield, the battlefield, initiative, actions, and we can do we can do victory conditions, in which we can actually do tactical victory, overwhelming victory. And we'll do we do tactical victory versus forces, battlefield, initiative, actions. Because again, this is going to be this isn't a very complicated game. That's the beauty of the fact that this is Advance Wars. Because Advance Wars is not a complicated entity. It really isn't. Yeah, this is all we have to really do. What do I want to do? Okay. No. We gotta explain this from the top. Man of the rifle. A unit. The main actor in a crisis. The main actor in a crisis. The main actor in a battle is a unit. Units are a single entity representing a squad, representing a small group of soldiers, armored vehicles, or soldiers, armored vehicles, or let's see, that have been assembled. Let's see, representing a small group of soldiers, armored vehicles, or aircraft that have been assembled to act as one. Each unit each unit has a variety of attributes. Let's see, each unit has a variety of attributes, and I end up calling actually. And tags which describe their abilities and method of attack and defense. Variety of attributes and tags which describe their abilities and the supply and demand come into play in this system? Not really. Like, trying to emulate that and what does boil down to a complete shit post game is a little bit complicated. I do have a method of kind of representing it, but not really representing it. It's as I like to refer to it as the quick and dirty method. One of the ideas being that if you sell over a certain amount, it's going to go down in value, but if you go sell too much of a thing, it's going to go up, and if you don't sell enough, it's going to go up in value because people. That's really it. Variety of attributes and tags which describe their abilities and method of attack and defense. Unit can move and attack. Each unit can move and attack separately, allowing the commander to accurately maneuver their forces. maneuver their forces for attacks. And what we're going to do is, do I actually write it down here? We're going to... Luckily, I actually have to think about need to column. Oh fuck. Column. No, I don't need to link. Unlink this. Unlink it now. Unlink this now. This would be primary attack. Secondary attack, secondary attack, defense, movement, morale. So, we'll do unit attribute. I believe I already reiterated this once before, but we're going to reiterate it again just because of how it's an important facet. And you need to talk about it, because if you don't, people aren't going to know. Primary attack. Primary attack is actually table. I could have swore area. I do. Thank God I have. Thank God I know about the military-industrial complex. Special perks. P attack, secondary attack, movement, defense, attacking power when moving to attack another unit. We're going to a little bit smaller just because we can. Infantry, armor, actually armor. 3 kinds of units are armor, infantry, and air. Each of the types, 3 types of units. Let's see. Each of the there are 3 types of units: armor, infantry, air. Air armor, and infantry. Air armor and infantry. Each of these types their own advantages and disadvantages, allowing them to more accurately deal with particular threats. Each of the types advantage, disadvantage, allowing them to more accurately deal with particular threats. How do I want to break this down? Not including naval combat. Yeah, no, not including naval combat, because the Navy will always get more complicated than it has any right to be, and yeah, no. I could add it in pretty easily, and if you want to have it, and my thing would be, if you really fucking want it, I will not stop you. However, I am not adding it in. I do not like boats. I think It's let's see. God. The advantages, disadvantages, letting them more accurately deal, more accurately particular threats. How do I want to work? How do I want to do this? I need to explain how the off. No, no, no. Get up, rise and grind. Let's do this. What do we need? What do we need to explain about unit? Everything is here. All the basic understanding is here. We need to explain the unit composition. We already have the unit composition. And the tag system. Have what we want. No, we don't. So we want the idea. Do we want to do it the types beat other types or resist in? We already kind of have it in here, so I don't think we really need to do that. However, what I will do is we're going to have a breakdown of the three. That's what we'll do. Have a breakdown of the three right here, and yeah. Air units are unaffected by terrain, and can attack. Unaffected by terrain, and air units are unaffected by terrain, but penalty bonuses and bonuses. Paired. We do armor. A diverse array of weapons of a diverse array of weapons of war that allow the Catboys to adjust to the situation, but lack the operational staying power. Lack the operational support required to support to keep themselves functional. Infantry. Boots in the mud, allowing being trained to capture points and hold ground efficiently, as well as support other units. There we go. So the main three things are right here, with the concept being that infantry lends support to the other two. You need to have infantry. If you don't have infantry, the armor is going to get picked off, and the air is going to get picked off as well. So it's kind of like the infantry allow you to actually capture points. That's how you win the fight. That's kind of the idea. You win the fight via infantry. Okay, let me just readjust my life here real fast. Okay, let me just yeah, I guess this is like how we explain units. Unless we put in another aspect of it, which is actually, I know what we can do. Units are actually Units are sworn to a, let's see, sworn to a particular baron. Sworn to a particular baron and cannot be controlled by other baron. However, let's see, units are sworn to a particular baron and cannot be controlled by other barons. However, they do count as being on the same side for purposes of warfare, purposes of bonuses and support. Actually, for example, one baron's damaged infantry can be repaired by another baron's field medic. Another baron's combat medic. That's kind of the basic idea of how things are going to be kind of like you're working together, but you are slightly separate. Actually, at the start of the battle, the commander themselves will select one unit to represent their command staffing. Increasing their base attributes. Like one unit to represent their command staff, increasing their base attributes, and allowing the commander a physical presence on the field. A physical presence on the field. If the physical presence on the field, I should say, is because this 3, we should let's see, Baron alliances. Sworn, same side, presence of physical commander on a physical presence on start of the battle. Actually, unit retreat, rout, or annihilation. Annihilation. So a unit can actually when a unit is reduced to zero health or 0 morale, they will be annihilated or rout. Annihilation has the unit crumble from increased firepower and is destroyed. You come from increased firepower and is destroyed. The survivors fleeing the field, or desperately joining up with other units. Let's see, you're desperately joining up with other units. The survivors fleeing the field, or desperately joining up with other units, or simply be captured by the enemy. Simply be captured by the enemy. The unit is permanently lost and cannot rejoin. And the unit is permanently lost. Routing has the unit flee the battlefield in a disorganized fashion while they are routing in a disorganized fashion. The unit remains on the field, but can no longer be commanded. As they make their way to the edge. Make their way to the edge of the battle. Let's see. They make their way to the edge of the battlefield to fully retreat. Any attack against them cannot be retaliated against. Let's see. Any attack against them cannot be retaliated. Any attack against them will not result in a retaliation. Any against attack them will not result in a retaliation. If they do manage to flee, the unit will remain in service of the Baron. The unit will remain in service of the Baron. A Baron at any time may bring a unit to the edge of the battlefield to successfully retreat it. Cannot be cannot be controlled and is removed from the map. But cannot be targeted. It will become reavailable at the start of the next crisis. Let's see. Service of the Baron, but will lose. Yeah, we'll lose one rank of veteran, see if they had any. So it's kind of like the idea of like, yeah, okay, so, if the Baron's command staff unit is destroyed, is annihilated. Baron's command staff unit is annihilated, then they will. Let's see. Then they are captured and unable to act. Any remaining piece of their forces will immediately rout. Any remaining piece of the forces will immediately rout. Let's see. Then they are captured or killed. Any remaining piece of their forces will immediately rout. If the Baron's command staff is routed, they will rally back. They will rally back after. They will rally after 3. The Baron can still control them. As normal. Let's see. The Baron can still control them as normal, but still cannot attack. but cannot attack until retaliate from attacks. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of like the idea of like if your unit fully routes, like it's not looking good for you. It's like you're still in control. You can still like do things, but yeah, your unit is kind of helpless. Like you're not attacking at all. You're being able to move around and kind of plop your ass somewhere because you're not really going to be able to do anything else. Okay, let me just readjust my life here. Ooh. Ooh. Ah, there we go. Go. Do we have anything else? Actually, resistance. Let's see. God, what did I use for term? Unit advantage. Resistance. And penalty. Yeah, unit advantage, resistance, and penalty. Certain units. May have an advantage, resistance, penalty to other units of a different type. If a unit has advantage, plus 1d12 when attacking them. If a unit has resistance, they give the enemy a negative 1d12. They give the enemy a negative 1d12 on their roll. They remove a die from the enemy's roll. From the enemy roll. Finally, if a unit has a penalty against another, they will remove a die from their attack. Playing against and two advantages. These factors will allow victory to quickly follow. Solid got hacked the other day. You just posted clearly a bot server in two places that was just clearly a bot farm server. That's why I immediately kicked you, and why I was also very concerned, Solid, why when you came back you didn't say anything. You joined a bot server. Many such cases. You probably found a Discord server called Boobies, and decided like, ooh boy, boobs. Even though boobs are probably the easiest thing to see on the internet. To be perfectly frank with ourselves here. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, KK slider, and then we go to the battlefield. The battlefield. The battlefield. Let's battle. A battle will take place. Take place on a square grid. Often. Let's see. A battle will take place on a square grid with each square roughly equaling an acre in land. Let's see. With each square roughly equaling an acre in territory. With each square roughly square referred to as a tile, called a tile, roughly equaling an acre in land. While moving, when moving units, a single unit may be in a single unit actually. Unit type. One of each unit type may be in a moving a unit. One of each unit type may be in a tile. One of the may be in a tile. So a infantry. So a air, armor, infantry may be in the same tile. But not two armor and infantry. So you pretty much can't stack two armored units together in a single tile, nor can you stack two infantry, two air, two anything like that. You can't do that, but you can stack technically an air on top of an armor on top of an. But not two armor and two infantry. And an infantry. Each of the battlefield's tiles are divided into one of four base terrains. Let's see. Each of the battlefield's tiles are divided into one of four base terrains. Which will be open, rough, difficult, and impassable. Open terrain has no movement cost. Open terrain can be moved in open terrain. actually, each of these base terrains have a different amount movement required to cross them. See, movement required to cross them, and certain unit types cannot enter certain terrains. So that went out. We do this. We put this here. We do this. We do this, and we make oblivious. When in doubt, at a fucking table. So, we're going to be R3 or 4. We're actually above terrain type, description, and move. Units. Let's actually just do this. Table properties. Left. Black on black. Add a 0.5 font. That. The fact that I was invited slipped under my radar. Well, yeah, that's what they do. They want to invite you to the server to make you a bot. That's the entire point. That's what they do. Description. Okay. Rain type. Unless you're commenting like you were more surprised that they would like want people to join, but like that's what they do as well. Let's see. Open terrain, rough terrain, difficult terrain, impassable terrain. Open terrain. The tile is open and free to move along it at any pace. Examples include grassland, snowy fields, or any other open space. Allowed units, all technically like all infantry air, actually infantry air infantry, and impassable is just air. So rough terrain, the tile is rough, and this movement. Oh. Movement. One. Of terrain is 2. Difficult terrain is 3, and this is X. Is only to armor / infantry. Tile is rough and let's see, rough and awkward to maneuver in. Awkward to maneuver in. Examples include, what would be good examples of rough terrain? I would say like hills. Let's see, examples include hills, Okay, when in doubt. Tell me more. Bill Shellabog and Rubble. Difficult. Difficult. The tile is outright possible for vehicles to enter. A slow and methodical climb. I'm through. Examples include mountain. Let's see. Examples include mountains. We want to do Advance War. Let's do Advance Wars. Terrain. Rolled shows, mountains. Mountains, deep woods. The tile is let's see. Okay. Luckily, we're not going to be dealing with that kind of scale. You got to remember that. Like, it's not really like here. You got to remember this, McDrussel. This is not exactly going to be like scaled as in like man to man. Like these are squads and like you're on the field. This is Advance Wars. So yeah, I don't really think you're going to be worrying about a plane going through a wall because yeah, a plane going full speed is going to go through a wall pretty easily. Yeah, however, the secret being if your plane is crashing into a wall, there's probably something wrong. Like there is something very wrong currently going on. What's your opinion on characters are nothing more than idiot plot machines? I don't know what the fuck you're on about. If you're talking about that video about like the idea that they don't understand what's going on, therefore they generate the plot or something like that, that's kind of dumb. Not my particular, look at things, but cool, you do whatever the fuck you feel like. Ugh. Does all plot exists in a superposition does not exist until observed. I mean, isn't that the case for most plots? The unfortunate reality is probably nobody gives a shit about anything until it directly involves them. This is a very common thing. Let's see. Battlefield. Let's go. Only place armor infantry. Actually, certain tiles may have their own unique feature. May not have their own unique features or fortifications on. Features or fortifications on. These allow the tile to have. These grant the tile new tile special properties, new properties, and new properties, shifting the tactical balance. Let's actually see. I want to try something. Randomized Advance Wars map. Yeah. Let's see. Certain tiles may have their own unique feature fortifications on them. These grant the new tiles new properties, shifting the. Put an image right there. We instead actually go to when in doubt, we're going to do something else. Field of battle, infantry, terrain structure, terrain hostility, example strategic features. Is that no? Drive. Dude. What am I looking for here? I don't know. Even Hearts of Darkness maybe have some. Probably. I need to update fucking Hearts of the Valkyria is what I need to do. I need to update this game to the new version. Been a while since I've actually even touched this particular one. Not tactical rules, gunfights. Counting morale, control zones. Nope, I'd actually had this completely different. Nope, okay, go away. Features on them. We want to do some example. We'll do some example features and fortifications. 8. Example feature description. Allowed units. The tile has a road on it. Let's see, the tile has a road on it. Tile has a road on it. This halves the movement cost of the, let's see. This has the movement cost of the tile as long as the unit is on the road. We want to do a bunker. If the tile has a bunker. If the unit is infantry, they increase their defense. They increase their defense by 4, plus 4. What would be another good feature? We want to do maybe something like a comm tower. No, it would be actually I know. Flooded. The tile is flood. The tile has flooded. The tile has flooded. All movement costs are doubled. All movement costs are doubled, and the unit suffers a -2 defense while inhabiting. Inside the tile. We want to do some shrouded. No, what would be another good one? Actually, a fortification. We'll do a fortification. We want to do a tank trap. Tank traps. The tile has a series of tank traps. If a armor unit moves into the tile, they end their movement and take 2d12 health damage. So it's like, okay, this is what I mean by, like, yeah, these are locations that you can set up, and like, okay, we want to set things up here, set things up there. How do you guys feel about roll and write solo RPG, aka journal RPG? They've been growing exponentially more popular over the years. I understand the appeal of them. I understand the appeal. I don't get the, like, to me, I don't find really any interest in it. Is there somebody out there who is like, yeah, journaling RPGs are the shit and I love them? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Not my particular cup of tea, however. To do... we want to do command initiative. Command initiative represents the commander's quick thinking and ability to position their forces in the ideal place. Command initiative. Okay, there's two options here. We can either be traditional or we can be a little bit wacky. I'm feeling traditional. Yeah, let's be traditional. Let's see. Quick thinking and ability to position their forces in the ideal place. When at the start of the battle, whoever is the aggressor will activate their units first. Whoever's the aggressor will activate their units first. moving them into their initial positions. Moving them into their initial positions. Actually, no. If moving them into their initial positions, then the defenders will act to react to counter the opening moves. From there, all commanders will make a We'll make an analytical understanding or brutal operating. Or make a brutal plus operating. I want to sneeze. I can feel it right in my nose. From there, all commanders will make a analytical understanding or brutal operating check to determine who will act first. Whoever scores the highest will seize the initiative and act first. Whoever scores the highest will seize the initiative and act first. Descending in order. When it is a commander's turn, this in descending order, a commander may willingly place themselves at the bottom of the command initiative order. Commander may willingly place themselves at the bottom of the command initiative order if they wish, but can only do so once. So it's kind of like along the idea of like how I want this to be is like player A. Let's say there's player A, player B, player C, and then we have like ecom, and then we'll make it official. Op 4A, Op 4B, and then Op 4C. If the initiative order is like PLA, PLB, OP, OPB, OPA, OPA, OPB, then PLC, and then C. This is the initiative order. A can willingly put himself down here, and then player B goes, then he can put himself down here. Operation B, PLC can go. Then it's I want to delay. These three now have to go. Like these three have to actually take an act with all their units, which is kind of the back and forth. Like sometimes you want to go later on because they're moving into position, other times you don't want to. How would you feel if miniatures and maps for meeple size? I mean, cool, I guess. Meeples are neat. I like meeples. I think they I think meeples have taken on like a weird, like, oh, these are board games or meeples. That's kind of weird because I usually associate them with Euro games. And I enjoy a Euro every now and again. I don't like Euros all the time because they can get a little bit of boring. They can get a little dull sometimes. When it is a commander's turn, they will activate. Actually, I want to check something. We're gonna do a little bit of checking. That's one. Yeah, like really hardcore Advance War is always really weird to me. Like, yeah. There we go. Yeah, welcome to me just like staring at things like, because okay, I can make it work. Yeah, like this is a meeple. I can tell you've probably seen these things before, even if you don't know what they are exactly. These are meeples. They are again, they've kind of become synonymous with like just board games. I believe they were first used in Archazon? I think that's where they first popped in. Don't quote me on that. When a commander's turn, they will activate one of their units. They will activate one unit at a time. Actually, they will activate one unit at a time, completing a move and attack order. Move attack, completing two actions. Completing a move and an action, then activate their next unit. Any all or no units may be activated at this time. All or no units may be activated at this time. When all commanders have acted, the next round begins with all commanders re-rolling their initiative. All commanders re-rolling their initiative. So yeah, it's you constantly have like a rolling initiative that some people are just going to be like, yeah, you're just going to be better at certain situations because you've kind of got a higher initiative than others, and you're going to be acting first. But maybe you don't want to act first. That's kind of the main thing, being like, maybe you don't want to go first. Going first is a liability in that current situation. I'm kind of surprised. I guess if you don't play a lot of Euros, they're kind of maybe not the most common thing. Initiative. We got initiative. We need to do action. I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, no, we're going to do actions. Action. Actually, no, we're going to break it down into movement, and we're going to break it down into movement. Oh god. When is the commander's turn? They will let's see. When the commander's turn, they will choose. They'll choose a unit to activate. They'll choose a unit to activate. They'll choose a unit to activate and perform a movement. A movement and action. Movement, or just an act, or actually movement and action, comma, or just a movement slash action slash move. Action or action slash move, or just an action slash movement, or a movement and action. And then we do movement when a unit is activated. They can move any number. They can move any number of tiles. The number of tiles equal to the movement cost of the tile, equal to the movement cost of the tile, and their own movement speed. We go all back up just to double check. We call that movement, and their own movement speed. For example, foot infantry have a movement of 4. They can move 4 tiles. They can move 4 tiles on open. They can move 4 tiles on open terrain, 2 tiles on rough terrain, or 1 tile on difficult terrain. However, if they are along a road on open terrain, they can move up to 8 tiles. They can move up to tiles as long as they move along the road. Oh god. God, yeah, no, it's one of you. They may move any number of tiles, equal to their movement speed. They can move through any number of tiles equal to their movement speed. Actually, I know how to work. I know exactly how this works. It's just wording it. When a unit is activated. Okay, they can move through a number of tiles, and so their movement cost equal to their movement attribute. Example: they can move through 4 on open terrain, 2 tiles on rough terrain, 1 tile on difficult terrain. However, if they are along a road on open terrain, they can move 8 tiles as long as they move along the road. Multiple allied units can move through one another. Move through one another while movement is blocked, but when surrounded by enemy units. Let's see. Can move through one another while movement is blocked by enemy units. Let's see. Allied units can move through one another while movement is blocked by enemy units. Well, movement is blocked. I'm gonna put a side note here. Hunker down rule. Hunker down rule. If wished, the Thule, the TG, can implement hunker down rule. If the unit chooses to not move this round, unit chooses to not move, they will instead gain a +2 to their defense as they adopt a more defensive position. This only applies to armor and infantry. That's kind of the idea. We can also add in a side note here, which is going to be the idea of a momentum rule. Momentum rule. If wished, the TG can bring in the momentum rule. The momentum rule. If air units must always move up to half their current speed. Always move up to half their current speed. Let's see. Must always move up to half their current speed. Actually, no, I'm not gonna add that. That's dumb. That's silly. Silly Billy. No, silly Billy. 2. Actually, no. 3. 4. I'm adding in the hunker down rule because it's kind of the idea of like, if you don't want to move, like that's your it's like you're not gonna waste your turn by not moving. Be like, yeah, you're still gonna get something. It's kind of like, yeah, it's just kind of an optional idea. If you want to do it, it's gonna be your option. That's your prerogative to do that. Cool. So we want to do movement, and then we have an action. We'll do activation. Finally, a unit's main goal is to perform. Its main goal is to perform in action, allowing them to do something on the field. Allowing them to do something on the field. a unit performing action. Let's see. Attack another attack. Actually, we're going to break this down into the most common of these be field. The most common of these being to attack another unit. Attacking another. We'll do attacking a unit. Attacking a unit. When making an attack, the commander rolls 1d12 plus a primary attack versus target's defense. Attacker's B attack versus target's defense. If the attacker rolls higher than the target's defense, if the attacker rolls higher than the target's defense, they will take damage equal to the difference. And if the attacker rolls higher, they will take damage equal to the difference. If the attacker does not, the attacker fails to exceed the target's defense, the attack fails. This immediately this invites a retaliation attack. This invites a retaliation attack. From if the target survived the attack. If the target survived the attack, let's see. The enemy commander will roll 1d12 plus 1d12 plus secondary plus S attack versus attackers. The enemy commander will roll 1d12 plus S attack versus defense. We'll roll 1d12 plus S attack versus defense, and with the same rule for damage applying. A retaliation attack does not trigger another retaliation. Does not trigger another retaliation. Oh, someone wants to pay me. Woo! Triangle grid with square big. No. I'm on the fuck you pay me. I'm on that grind set. Though I did realize, I did check my entire earnings history through Twitch since I became an affiliate. I have made $86 through a combination of subs and ads. So, as you can tell, I'm a real OG gamer. Show me. The retaliation attack does not trigger another retaliate. Actually, I'm gonna do an example. Fighters over Dust Bowl. Two barons have come to blows over the resource rich slab of land called the Dust Bowl. Called the Dust Bowl. Called the Dust Bowl. During the first days of engagement, fighter planes from both sides merge from the clouds to clash in the air. Let's bring up hello. Da, 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 da. Okay, so fighter. We'll do fighter A. We'll do fighter. Fighters have P attack. Have a P attack. PATK. PAT of 4. SATK. ATK of 2. Defense of 6. Defense of 6. HP of fighters go HP of 20. HP of 20. Fighter A activates and attacks fighter B. Fighter B. The first combat roll. First combat roll is 1d12 plus 1d12 plus 4. 1d12 plus 4, 6. Rolling an astounding 11 for a total of 15. Fighter A deals 11. Actually, total of 15. That would be deals 11 damage. A deals 11 damage to Fighter B. Fighter B. Fighter B immediately retaliates even if bloody. Rolling a 1d12 plus 2, so 6 is a 10. Scoring a total 12 with 6 damage. Fighter B has 9 out of 20 HP remaining. Fighter A has 14 out of 20 HP. Like, this is a single little engagement. You kind of are getting the impression of, like, yeah, a single good, burst of fighting among each other will bring one another down. You can get kind of stuck in the fray against people with that slightly lowered defense. Chance you're going to be dealing a lot of damage against them, especially against units that are maybe a little bit more fragile. Yeah, especially when you get things like infantry, for example. You get infantry and you manage to break them, it's yeah, you're doing a good chunk of fucking damage. You could deal a solid bit of pain. Yeah, no, we don't deal with triangles and trapezoids as maps. That sounds painful. Okay, we've got our example then. Go. Add enemy. Retaliation attack. Technically, I should make this a little bit cleaner. Let's just get it down on paper first. Ooh, example here, table 1x1. Example, fighters over Dust Bowl. Even retaliates, even if bloodied. Final round 1 HP final. Final HP final health. Fighter A, fighter B both got kind of fucked up. Like, it's another bad retaliation, especially like the thing is you got to remember, like, a bad like, you can get destroyed in a bad retaliation just as much as they can. Like, if they kind of take a really nasty retaliation on their, like, as they're being aggressive and you manage to get a good hit off, follow up immediately and you may be able to destroy them. So it's kind of like, I would say I don't want to be like attackers are disincentivized. It's more along the lines of, like, attackers are going to consistently probably do more damage, but it's, if you don't do very well, you can actually kind of get mulched a little bit on the return fire. Someone can come back and slap your tits. We want to do this. Fighters of Dust Bowl. So capturing a location. Let's see. Some of these being to attack another unit or capturing a location. Units with the capture tag. Units with the capture tag can move on to features, can move on to certain to unique points of interest and perform the capture action. If they do such, they will claim the point. They will claim the point for their side. This may be a victory condition, or enable the use of important features and fortifications such as bunkers. Let's see, such as bunkers, communication towers, or even capturing civilian, or buildings to ransack. Would be some other actually, I know what we can do. Would be, we do capture a location, we do this, and then follow up with perform a tag skill. Units with certain tags may have unique abilities and skills to perform in the field, allowing them to assist their allies or improve their own capabilities. Move or action, or just an action or movement. Once a unit has been activated, they must complete their full action. They must complete their full action. They must complete their they must complete their movement. They must complete their series of action. Complete their series of actions. As once they are finished, they cannot be reactivated until the start of the next. Attacking a unit, we do that, what are we missing? We are missing a... So I should put in a... the unit takes time, effort, and a little bit of work to destroy a feature, feature on the map, making it unusable for either side. If a unit is standing on actually, a unit must be standing next to, on the feature fortification. Do such a thing. That doesn't. Let's see. When a unit is adjacent to another unit, they may make an attack. They may make an attack. They may make an attack. Attack minerals. What am I looking for? Destroy feature fortification. Takes time and effort. Capturing a location. Move on to perform capture action if they do. Tag action. Certain certain unique ability to perform on the field. Destroy fortification. What do we else? Here. What do we else? Yeah, that's it, really. Actually, no, we could, rush. The unit makes a second move. The unit makes a second move action. Makes a second movement. Allowing them to cover ground. Ruined. There we go. Makes yeah, cool. Next, we move on to combat situation. during the heat of the battle, few things are always certain, but tactical positioning and thinking things through may be the key to victory. If the unit is flanked, flanking. If the unit is flanking, the unit is considered flanked. If they have two or more enemy units. Enemy units surround two or more enemy units adjacent to them. Two or more enemy units adjacent to them. When flanked, the attackers gain a +2 to their primary attack. Attackers gain +2 to the primary attack. Actually gain +1 to their primary attack. For each flanker. Would be something more along the lines of using the spreadsheet of Thule. A spreadsheet of Thule. In a situation like that would be like if we here. So like let's say I have like an allied unit here. If an enemy unit is right here and then right here, they would have a +1 flanking bonus against me. But if they have an enemy there and there, they now have a +3 flanking bonus against me. This is where the value of militia come in, because what you can do is, say for example, just spam around militia around people and then use them as a flanking bonus. Them by themselves aren't very useful. However, using them and then having like a spearhead, kind of like a vanguard unit, smash into them would be a good idea. Russian military tactics isn't actually about your militia doing much. It's mostly about putting them in the right place. Dual hex grids? Not really my thing. Yeah, no. Absolutely not. That looks atrocious. And the fact that you linked Reddit is even worse. Inshallah, my brother, you have linked Reddit. I feel. Okay, so that's pretty easy to understand. We need to do indirect fire. Units with indirect fire can attack others from distance. Units with indirect fire can attack others from distance. They make an attack as normal, but will suffer no retaliation. Will suffer no retaliation for their efforts. But will suffer no retaliation. Unless they have indirect fire within distance. So yeah, technically you can do counter battery. If you fire your artillery piece at someone with their artillery piece will fire back. So you can technically get yourself destroyed, but like artillery isn't very strong. The advantage of artillery is, hey, we're very, we're thick and we're chunky, and we're allowed to do kind of this indirect fire. That's kind of like their big advantage. Indirect fire. there. Add that little note in, being like, well, it's a linear line. You're gonna have to shoot your enemy. No. Let's think. Flanking, indirect fire. Actually, we'll do, actually, we'll do poor terrain. God, what's a good, that's another good, oh. Morale damage. How about morale damage? Applying retaliation does not trigger another retaliation. But here, if an attacking unit, how do I want to do? If an attacking unit has a an attacking unit has an advantage, advantage, or the defending unit is suffering from a penalty or resistance, they will take morale damage. The attacker, actually no, how do I want to word this? Fuck. Morale damage equal to the die roll of their attack. Actually, I know. At the end of every attack, both sides will take morale damage. Equal to their we'll take morale damage equal to the let's see. Both sides will take morale damage equal to the primary attack. If defending, or the secondary attack being retaliated again. So this is the kind of the way to ensure that people don't immediately just like never leave fight, never, kind of like, how do I want to, as long as you are kind of stuck in the fight, you're going to be fine. But there's a chance, like, if you kind of get into the slugging match, you're going to lose. Infant, we want to do tank, light war, technical spare squad. We want to do fuck, fighters, 10 now. Second to it. If the attack was successful. let's see. Your would be 8 out of 10 morale. 14 out of 20 HP. 8 out of 10 morale. You on the other hand have out of 10. 6 out of 10 morale. There we go. There we go. So actually, if the attack fails, the unit will take no morale damage. So it's kind of like along the idea, like that's the terrifying thing of the scary thing of the terror squad is you do the full damage effectively as your morale damage. Like you take the full fucking thing. Where it's like that could easily rout you, like just by virtue of this having more people. Actually we could do terror. I will do terrors of war. Units may lose morale. Based on units may lose morale based on events occurring in. Units may lose morale based on events occurring in the field. If a nearby unit is nearby three tiles is destroyed, the unit will take 1d6 d12 divided by 2 morale damage. All units will take morale damage. Actually no, 3, it would be by 4. So it's kind of like that thing and like, ooh, like we've lost somebody. Like if the, let's see, if the right unit is annihilated, take 1d. So we'll say 1d6 because it's like, yeah, no, they've been all just fucking ripped the fucking shreds. If a nearby unit routes, all units will take 1d4. We'll take 1d4, 1d12 divided by 3. Morale damage as well. Because remember, everybody, nobody wants to die because dying sucks. Finally, if a horrifying event occurs, then morale damage. Mercenaries. I need to work mercenaries because the idea behind mercenary. Actually, I'm going to probably put a little note. Probably don't even have to put a little note or anything in there, just because the kind of the idea is already there. It's like, yeah, you can buy mercenary. Or. Let's see. What am I looking? believe that's really it. Oh wait, no, we have to do victory. Victory conditions. Victory conditions. Every crisis, every battle has a victory condition. Has a victory condition. These victory conditions can range from defending for a certain number of terms, certain number of rounds, to destroying a VIP target, regardless of the outcome. There are for every battle crisis, there are four possible results. There are four possible results. Which we will do overwhelming victory. The Baron's forces have emerged triumphant. Not only was the victory condition met, but a majority of over 50% of the enemy force was annihilated or routed. All participating units gain a rank. Gain 2 pips. 2 pips toward their next veterancy. All participating units gain 2 pips toward their next veterancy. And the barons collect the spoil and collect the spoils. The barons collect the spoils afterwards, equaling around value of destroyed enemy units. Value destroyed enemy units divided by 4 in $T. Value of actually routed annihilated routed enemy units divided by 2 in $T. So you get a lot of money out of this by virtue of just, you've done it. What about Cold War? What do you mean about Cold War? It's not, what? Let's see. Then we do tactical victory. The barons have managed to complete their objectives. Let's see. Barons have managed to complete their objectives, and let's see. The barons have managed to complete their objectives and move forward with their plans. While the enemy force was not crushed, they still enjoy the spoils of the battle. Participating unit, all surviving units gain a pip toward their next veterancy. The barons collect spoils afterwards, equaling around the value of annihilated enemy units divided by 4. So it's like you're getting a lot less out of it, but you're getting something out of this. This is like you just complete the objective and you don't do anything else. We can do. Let's see if I can spell this right up. Pyrrhic. It's always fucking 2 R's. 2 R's always throw me for a loop. We do a Pyrrhic victory. The Barons complete their objective, but emerge bloodied. Bloodied and worse for wear. While victorious, they will need to lick their wounds and count the dead. All surviving units gain a pip toward their next veterancy. Barons collect afterwards, which is going to be a 6 of whatever the value is. Which is like, wow, that seems like a lot, but that's like, yeah, it's a Pyrrhic victory. All that money, you're not really getting much out of this. And finally, we will do feats. The Barons fail in their objective. Whether this is a setback, or a catastrophic failure, Barons must now deal with the fallout. Any surviving units do not gain any pips toward veterancy. The Barons collect no spoils, and must now deal with the aftermath. It's kind of like along the lines of like, if you do well, you're gonna make money off it, because that's all that matters, isn't it? You're gonna make money. However, if you do poorly, you're gonna get like, yeah, it's Jover before it began. Like, you've lost, and now you have lost more than you have ever possibly could gain. Therefore, you fucked. Have fun, ass. Veteran. It's veterancy. That's the word. Veterancy is like one of those weird words, like technically it's not a word, but also is completely a fucking word. And everyone pissy with it. Pyrrhic victory. Actually, do this. Put tactical victory twice. There. I need to okay. Stored veterancy. Annihilated. Toward their next veterancy. Espionage, stealing supplies, etc. Cold War. I mean, yeah, that works. Since we're talking about video games in this stream, is hypothetically similar to me making Minecraft RPG, what system would work best as a base? Oh, that's even worse. Oh, Jesus. Fucking Minecraft? I mean, if you want to stick to, like, what the game is, yes, a lot of OSR games could probably work. Simpler the better. Look at the Black Hack. That'd be my first. hack and call it the block hack. If you get more Eric, you if you want to get more esoteric, I guess. Again, yeah, I guess you could also go down the route of that one. Can't even drafting. Yeah, that would be my suggestion. If he has played literally nothing other than 5th edition, it would immediately at least be relatively familiar. Okay, so let's see. We've got victory conditions. We've got this. Scroll all the way up. Personal phase is done. Crisis phase is pretty much done. So feels like there's something wrong and I can't put my finger on what it. Allowing them to cover more ground. Combat situation. Actually, this does not. Let's see. Add to their previous movement. Movement. This says add to their previous movement. Movement amount. Yeah. So effectively, what that is, if you find yourself in a situation where they're left with like one movement, technically they can add another helping of their movement to allow them to go on. Even if they just need to move a single tile, you have to do the rush act. That's how it would work. So let's say, for example, you end up with, let's say you have like 7 movement. And you spend 6. And you spend 6 to get somewhere. If that means you have a remaining of one movement. If you were to rush, what happens is you would add that remaining 1 plus the 7 again for a total of 8 remaining moves. So that's kind of the dichotomy there. It's like, hey, yeah, like you can pretty much double your movement. In exchange, though, you double your fucking movement. You double it, and you have to now deal with that fact. But you're rushing. There's something I'm missing here, and I don't know what. Or oh gosh. Okay. Not me. Pretty much would just be this, but I just knew what I need to do there is I need to just add in a bunch of little things, but now the combat's done, I'm feeling pretty good about that. I can probably start doing stuff. Yeah, that seems... Alright, I'll probably do that tonight. What was one game or system that you always wanted to run but never could get able to? So, Vampire the Masquerade. It's become a reoccurring joke in my play group that we'll never play Vampire because I've said like we're gonna do Vampire next. Vampire's it, and then it just never happens. It is almost on every single list anytime we vote on what games we want to play. Vampire's always on there, and it usually loses by like 1 or 2 votes. Always. Again, it's a meme at this point. It's just a complete meme that we'll never play Vampire. Though maybe I can do this next time if my friend can decide what fucking game he wants. He's leaning towards Shadow of the Demon Lord, but he keeps having like, I don't know, it might be too grim dark for me, and I don't know what I want to do. It's just like, make your fucking mind up. I believe in you, my friend. I dream of better tomorrows. Yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think if things go according to plan, and me feeling like shit right now isn't just a fun and exciting thing that we can't talk about, we should be able to get everything done on Wednesday. I just need to do some like small things and fix everything up, and then we'll be done. I'm gonna call it there because I'm going to, well, I gotta get things set up. We did it. Good job, everybody. We did combat. I feel like something's missing, but I don't know what it is, so I'll think on it later. Okay. Goodbye.